All right, welcome back. Well, the way you just joined, people just cut off a very sweet conversation I was having here with an award-winning singer, also a songwriter, actress, thespian. What else does she do? Choir, music composer, choir member, voiceover artist. Do you know how to cook? Do you know how to cook?
I cook. I try.
Have you ever done cooking professionally or something?
No, I haven't.
Well, she's been there, done that. She has over a decade worth of experience across stage and screen. She's performed globally in acclaimed productions like Hereward, Les Miserables, and Riona. A fellow of Aliwa, Oluchi uses her arts to inspire, change, and amplify African voices. It is great to have you. You are welcome.
Thank you.
Did you get to speak French with Les Miserables?
Not really. It was all English.
And then it's titled Les Miserables. I know it's a very big French musical.
Yes.
And all of that. There's even a film about
Yes,
it,
it's a
starring Hugh Jackman.
Yes.
You know,
and
that's what comes to mind. And how was it done that it was done in English?
So there is an
English version,
yes.
definitely,
And it's
because the
called
big
Les
things.
Miserables. Les Miserables.
Les Miserables.
The Miserables.
No, I like what you said. Say it again. Say it
Les
again.
Miserables.
Ugh.
I have a French song.
You have a-
Yes.
I like that. Why, that's the thing I see here. The way we celebrate French accents, the Spanish accent. In fact, we want to identify the Spanish accent we love.
Yeah.
The French accent with that, love with rough edges and all of that. But then you hear Emeka.
We should be proud of our accent.
Exactly.
I have the Igbo accent.
Exactly, and we should be proud to show it. It should not be, I tell people that an accent is not a measure of intelligence.
It's not.
So you see someone with an American accent and you feel like it's more intelligent than somebody that maybe a Cosmos Maduka who is speaking the Igbo accent and all that. But the level of intelligence in that man, the average person will look at Cosmos Maduka and say, this local man.
But he's very intelligent.
Very, very.
Business oriented.
Very. You know you're smiling. You like business. You like money.
I'm an Igbo girl. Excuse me. I'm an Igbo girl, so yes.
Also, if we stereotype you, people should not be angry.
Well, it's okay. I will be glad to be stereotyped in that aspect.
In that
We
aspect.
talk about money.
Wow.
Yes.
If I was to ask you out on a date, how much would I spend minimum?
Let's not talk about it on live television.
Let's talk.
Minimum? Don't worry. It will be something.
Just say something. Just say something.
You wanted to use me as a scapegoat. I'll be on blogs to say anything.
No, okay, but is there any place you would not go to? If I wanted to take you to Yabas area, very nice food though. No, the food makes sense.
I like amala.
Very sweet food. But it's a local joint. It's not like it's there's no finesse. There's no panache.
As far as it's good food, count me in.
I like that.
No matter
So
what it is.
let's talk about you and your career. You started with music. You were there in Project Fame and all of that.
Even Nigerian Idols.
Nigeria.
We hustled.
Talk to me about that experience. What was it like competing, in that?
It was. I think I was 25 at the time.
Okay.
So I was still just getting out of the university, trying to do my NYSC, and I knew I had the gift of singing.
Okay.
And that, for me, was a measure for me to just showcase my talent. And so I went for Nigerian Idols first. I think that was in February or so. But I got to the top 30 level, and I was evicted.
Okay.
But then I knew that there was still something that I really wanted to give.
Okay.
And of course, I had always watched MTN Project Fame right from the very first season.
Okay.
And they also have the auditions, I think around June, July. So I went in for that as well. I got to the auditions, the end of the auditions, but I wasn't picked. It was later I was called in as a wild card
As a
contestant.
wild card.
Yes. And I got to the top 30 level. I was evicted the same night Chike was evicted.
Wonderful.
Chike, so
Wonderful.
It's been a beautiful experience.
What did competing at that level, what did it teach you? What did it do to you as a person?
To be honest, it messed with me a bit. Yes, it did.
It does have an effect when you don't go as far as you expect to, when your expectations are cut short.
Exactly. Yeah? Even though I knew that Oluchi is that type of person who is dogged.
Especially when you meet a judge like Uncle Ben or somebody or something, and they talk down on you. Imagine Simon Cowell saying something like, you should not be singing, you should be...
Yeah, you know, but the judges or faculty members never did that anyway. They always encouraged us.
Okay.
But competing was quite a lot. However, it taught me to just focus on yourself and the reason why you are in that competition. Because you're there to win. So, win. That's all you owe yourself.
Wonderful.
There'll be different people with different voices. You have a peculiar voice. So speak to yourself. Go for what you're there for. Shine in your own way. And whatever you find, you take it. But that doesn't deter you from being successful.
Wonderful. And how did you now segue into the silver screen? How did it come for you?
Auntie Joke Silva was one of the faculty members. And I remember vividly when we were in the academy, we were having one of her sessions. And she asked, you know, all the contestants to sing a favorite song of theirs. And I did. So when I sang the song, she was like, you have this aura of a musical artist, you know. And she told me, oh, there'll be auditions for a play that I'm producing. And that was how I got out of the academy and I was a part of the play. And that's how I delved into, from musicals to screen. From that moment, I got called for several other productions, film productions, television productions, even stage.
Did you get to audition as much as you did for the music career? Did you attend auditions for...
Oh, yes. That particular musical, I attended the auditions 3 times. So it was one screening process to another and another. It was tough. Did
you ever know, before you started singing, when you wanted to compete as a singer, did you ever know that you had something in you that could act? Did you ever, was there a flair for it or an affinity or something?
Yes. Because I watched a lot of musicals while I was growing up.
Okay. Which was your favorite?
Little Mermaid, Pocahontas.
Okay. So you're a Disney person, yeah?
Oh, I am a Disney lover. It influenced my being and even my music, the way I sing.
You still listen to Disney songs?
Every day.
Okay.
Every day.
All right.
Yes.
Wonderful. And so you've now been in quite a number of productions.
Yes.
You've traveled out to perform and all of that, and for me that's quite big, you know, when you have to leave the shores of the country for something. You've been in also, which production, looking at what you've done, which one has challenged you the most?
You mean one of the foreign productions?
Anyone. Foreign and local, which one has challenged you the most?
There are 2. One is a musical, one is a theatre production, and the other is a series. So the theatre production would be Death and King's Horseman by Wole Soyinka. That was the one we did in the United Kingdom just this February. Okay. Yes, that was. The character I played was a crazy village market woman.
Very different from what you would normally
would do. And I enjoyed it because it took me out of my comfort zone.
It pushed you.
It pushed me a lot. And my director, Mrs. Mojisola Karim, she was tough. She wanted to get the best out of us, and she actually did.
Okay.
Then Chetam is a series that I was on by James Omokwe. It's a Showmax series. I played a warrior. My father was a warrior and the king of a certain land. So my character wanted to be like my father. So you can imagine the small daughter who tries to, you know, fight with swords.
Did you have choreography?
Oh, I did.
And all that?
There were clips.
Fights and all of that.
Amazing clips.
Did you take hits, physical hits?
I had bruises. Like I fought. You know, I learned how to use the bow and arrow, how to use the knife. Of course, they weren't sharp, but they were
definitely
safe for us.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fighting, a lot of hardness, and I loved it. I really did love it.
So we're looking at, do we say a Nigerian Angelina Jolie or Scarlett Johansson or something? If you were to go into Hollywood, you know, what kind of role would you like? If you were to pick a role in Hollywood,
to be honest,
and all of that, what would you do?
To be honest, an action film.
An action film,
I would love.
But you know that is the genre that is very challenging in Africa here, especially in Africa here. I feel like we do well when it comes to drama. That's our forte. Yeah. When it comes to action, some of our performances are suspect.
But we're getting there.
Are we?
Yeah.
Believability is one thing, because you see, when people talk about how Nigerian movies and all about how maybe they don't see so much of it. I feel like the issue we've always had is believability.
Yes.
You always feel like somebody knows there's a camera in front of the person. Why do we get so engrossed when we're watching some? Now, it doesn't have to be Nigerians, but when you are believable, and I think that our action is not yet believable. I think that's where a number of it.
I may not agree.
Okay.
Because I think that Nollywood has come to a level where we have really great actors.
Good.
And we have a team of people behind the scenes that are really pushing to make sure that Nollywood moves from that trajectory from the non-believability trajectory to a more believable trajectory. And we have amazing actors. So I feel like now Nollywood is way better than
it is. It is. But then, recently we had the issues with some streaming services in some ways cutting down on what they are doing in the country. And that was what the allegations came about producers who would not use the entirety or the majority of a budget for a particular production, which I think also, has affected even the actors. Because if I would normally want to keep you in camp before before the series, I want to keep you in camp 1 month before we even start shooting to rehearse, to train, and then I cut it down to 1 week or 1.5 weeks and all of that. It affects the quality.
It does.
So in that particular scenario and all of that, what would you say to such producers, to someone who because it has affected the industry in some ways? If we had streaming services commissioning projects and now they're saying, oh, they are cutting back, not as much because maybe we have some sort of a reputation in some ways of not using the money that we are meant to use for what we are meant to use. You get the gig and you have built a house. You already have a GLE in somewhere or something.
To be honest, we cannot be in control of how people behave or how they tend to use the budgets that they've been assigned to. But what we can do as individuals is try to make a change. If as an actor, I believe that I can make a change. I can become a producer someday and then decide that, okay, I'm going to try to influence Nollywood, make it better in my own way.
Okay.
You can't control people's actions, to be honest. You can't control, even though I do not condone mismanagement of budgets and funds. But in Nollywood, it's quite a lot, to be honest. As an actor, I know I've experienced some of that, but I've been lucky to be in productions where they are thorough. I mean, James Omokwe's production team are amazing. We do work. We have series of trainings. We have time off where
pre-production, where a lot of things before the main production, there's so much has already been done.
Yes, and there are other people, not just James Omokwe, there are other producers who have done their best, to keep Nollywood and the industry in a good light.
Wonderful.
So I think we should dwell on that.
More on that.
And then try to erase all the bad.
Lovely. Let's wrap up. You're fantastic. What do you have coming up? Is there anything that we should look forward to where we can see Oluchi shining in all the glory?
Yes, so I just released a song titled Poison with a friend of mine.
Poison.
Yes.
You know what happens? We're going to set up our stage.
God, I beg.
Is it God, I beg? You will sing that? You don't release that song?
No, let me not sing that song. Let me sing it.
Okay. Poison. We'll sing another song, yeah? Okay.
And then I'm also in the Loud Urban Choir, so we have quite a number of...
What do you have coming up for Loud Urban Choir? What do you have coming up?
We have I don't want to spill the bean now.
Okay.
But we have a concert coming up.
Okay, but you definitely have something for Christmas, right?
Oh, yes, we do.
There's something for Christmas.
Yes.
Oluchi, I love Christmas.
I'll keep you in the loop.
Please keep me in the loop. I love Christmas, and I've always spoken about how I want to just enjoy Christmas with all the carols and all of that. I'm looking forward to what you guys have, right? So you cannot perform Poison because I think it has some.
Yeah.
Okay, but before Poison, which other one? What's that? When your musical style or your lyrics, what do you want to project out the most? What is that thing to you?
True emotions, true feelings.
True feelings.
Yes.
Wonderful.
True feelings and love. I'm a lover.
I have breakfast for you.
Oh, really?
But before I get to that breakfast, you will perform. Something. Maybe it doesn't have to be a performance, just a few lines. But we'll do that in the kitchen, eh?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's protein. There's chicken there. There's eggs.
Fantastic.
There's sweet potatoes. You like sweet potatoes?
I'm a foodie, dear.
This one too like food. All right. Okay. Let's head over there.
All right.
All right. Join me.